Peace be with you. Welcome to Healing Life with Positivity 24/7, 365, 24/7. This is a location and or a platform rather where you can come. Why did I say location? Listen, I'm sending my very high vibrational location for you to locate me, all light beings. Let's come on in and have a sit down, if we will, have a stand up, whatever it is. Listen, I love you. This is a platform where we obsessively, compulsively, deliberately focus on all things positive because we can, and so we will, and so we are, and this is beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. If you are returning back to the channel, you already know, from my inner child to your inner child, I love you. Let's just take a really nice deep breath, y'all. Reminds us to go with the flow of life. I just heard Spirit say, I release all that no longer serves my highest good, lovingly, peacefully, accepting all that is. Let's take a second breath. I just heard everything is working to the benefit and the betterment of myself and others by way of my highest good. Let's take a third breath. I just heard my heart's desire is in alignment with all that is good by way of the divine plan for my life. Thank you, Spirit. Let's just see what the universe, our beautiful angels, our beautiful spirit team has to say to us today. So today I am pulling from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck, right? This is going to be the first time that I'm pulling from this deck. I love it. Somebody sent this to me as a gift. I am eternally grateful, very happy. This is, again, the first time that I'm going to be reading these messages. I take that back. I actually did a short video where I pulled a few cards, but for the most part, this is going to be the first time that I see this with you all. Most of these cards, the point to the story is I've not seen these cards, okay? So I say that because it builds an excitement for me, is what it is. Maybe that's why I felt I needed to give you that as a disclaimer. Okay. It's an excitement for me. So I'm seeing it with you. We're seeing it together. This is so funny because I pulled this card the other day and I didn't go into what it meant, but the crow spirit, okay? The number 17 might be significant. 1 plus 7 is 8, as above, so below. I am mindful of my words. I am mindful of my intentions. The universe is always listening and helping me to pay attention to those things that I need to give my attention to. I just heard that. So you will hear me speak in I so that I too get the message, but you too can say I by way of these affirmations. I feel as though the crow spirit has a lot to do with co-creating with spirit, okay? The porcupine spirit, ooh, something about divine protection, something about protecting your energy. The porcupine spirit says, time for beginner mind. Time for beginner mind. Okay, so that could represent you always staying in a state of the new. I am always in that beginner's mind, remembering why I started. We got the number 48. What is that? 12? 1 plus 2 breaks down to a 3. Okay. Yeah, that's giving me ascended master energy. Time for beginner mind, right? So you know how You set out to create something, right? And maybe in the middle of whatever you're creating, whatever that is, only you know. I'll use myself. And sometimes we feel a little stagnant. You have to remind yourself why you started. The beginner's mind, right? The beginner's mind is excited. The beginner's mind is like, this is going to happen. The beginner's mind is like, okay, I need to do this. Like when I started, my website, okay? Because I'm building a website. I don't know if I told y'all, I taught myself to build websites, right? So as I'm starting out building my website, there were little things that came up maybe in my mind's eye, or maybe other energies around me that could have possibly distracted me. I had to be mindful of why I started and stay the course. It's like, no, remember, I committed to myself that nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to start this and I'm going to finish this. It also reminds me of one of my ancestors who passed over. Ooh, may spirit forever be pleased with his investment in my life. He was a pastor and he told me, and this was literally in his last days. I was with him in his last days and we read the Bible and we had good conversations. And I love him so much. And you know what he said? He said, if you don't remember anything else, he says, if you start it, finish it. He said, don't start nothing that you're not going to finish. Well into his 80s, nearly into his 90s. I was so blessed to have sat with him in his last days, and I miss him so much. I really do. I feel his spirit around me right now. He said, if you start it, finish it, right? So the beginner's mind, just imagine if you woke up every day with the beginner's mind, right? It's a new season. It's a new day. Every day is a new day. Not like the one before, but it's new to you, right? Seeing things with new eyes. Seeing things with an innocent spirit, right? An innocent heart, a pure heart is always going to keep you in great humility to the universe. Beautiful ebb and flow is what I feel. And this is just kind of, foresight with me feeling what I feel these cards are about. So let's just see what the universe is saying to us today. Crow's spirit, the crow spirit. Being patient with people around you, okay? Giving your attention to things, people, places, and things that you should be giving attention to is what I just heard. Also, understanding when the universe is calling for you to be the alchemist. The crow spirit. Where's my crow spirit at? Where is it at? There it is. Okay, so the crow spirit. Co-create with spirit. The oracle message is, as you look around you, can you sense the magic that pulses through the world? Have you witnessed how every thought can become a thing? Yeah, that's powerful. How every intention can call the universe into action as the sacred laws shape what you experience. The universe works in perfect order. When you align your thoughts with feelings and beliefs by way of high vibrational as it relates to spirit, you will want to crow with delight. To crow with delight. Feeling the excitement and wonder of being in harmony with something much larger than yourself. Crow spirit says you are right on target. Now to see your dreams magically come into being in the visible world. Okay, I love this energy, y'all. I think we should use this as an affirmation. So we're going to say, we are looking at life with wonder and delight. I look at life with wonder and delight. I absolutely am feeling excited and wonderful about the harmony that I'm connected to something a lot larger than myself, also known as Source. I'm right on target. I see my dreams magically coming into being by way of the visible world and the laws of abundance, by way of compensation, frequency, and praise are operating in my favor now. Remember to be grateful and praise everything that belongs to you. I praise everything that belongs to me. I am grateful for all things that are mine. I cannot miss my blessings. I cannot miss this good energy. It is mine to keep. And so I am effortlessly, happily, in delight, and in excitement by way of being in harmony. Remember to be grateful, it says. The protection message, it says, for spirit is always your co creation partner. The universe is listening to me. Crow Spirit wants you to know why you think there is no magic in the world. So if you catch yourself, kind of deviating from why you started, why, this gives me inner child, y'all. Okay, this gives me shadow work. I spoke to somebody the other day, and just in a nutshell, with all due respect to her spiritual privacy, but I always like to use things to help others and teach others. So this is um how am I going to put this? Ooh, I want to put this in the right way, y'all. This is in no way to demean somebody else's experience, right? But I feel like it's relevant because I can relate to it. So I'll put myself in the energy as well. But I spoke to somebody the other day about their journey and them understanding their purpose. And I asked them, what do you believe that your lineage wants you to do? And she said, I don't know. And I sat with that for probably 24 hours. I really mulled over it and I put myself in this person's shoes, right? Just because as a teacher, as a spirit guide, I needed to be compassionate. I needed to be empathetic, right? Not judgmental, but literally to understand what it was that was putting her in this I don't know energy. So I went back to moments where I felt confused. I went back to moments where I didn't know, right? And it helped me answer her in a way that I felt was going to help her go within, right? A little bit more. Because that's the thing about being a real spirit guide. We're not saviors. We're just here to hold a space of love and light for certain people based on our spiritual contracts until they can hold it for themselves, right? Peace, love, and light to all the beautiful teachers that held a space of love and light for me when I was not able to hold it for myself, even if they did not realize that that is what they were doing for me. Shout out to them. Peace, love, and light. Gratitude. Attitudes of gratitude. That's what I am. That's what it is, right? And so I just needed to say that in hindsight, because I got really into that moment of when I did not know, I did not see, I had to sit with myself. When they say it's a lonely road, it's really not lonely. One gets to a point where they decide, oh, this is what being alone is about, and this is what being lonely represents. Because we're never alone. I have my spirit team with me. They're always talking to me. I got my spirit animals. I got the creator of all things, co-creating everything that I speak, everything that I say. And so being a teacher, I'm very mindful of my words. I'm being pulled to pay attention to my thoughts more so now than ever because of the larger scale of which my words are now going out into the atmosphere. And so I ask Spirit, I say, listen, let me do this from the genuine heart. Let me do it from a genuine soul. So I do that from my heart. I do that from my soul. There is peace in that. There's understanding in that. So when I thought about this person, I said, wow, that's interesting. The first thing I thought when I put myself in her shoes, I said, ooh, that's dangerous. One should never be in a position where they don't know. And if you don't know, and you're looking outside of yourself to somebody else to tell you why, you will always get minimum information. Most of the downloads go within. They're coming from within. It's about going within, right? And so in that spirit of confusion, the mind could be running rampant all over the place. The first thing that I had to learn was to quiet my mind. I still have moments where I have to do that, right? Especially if I get somebody that needs my help by way of me doing readings and them, allowing me into a very vulnerable space of spirituality, allowing me into a space where they are being made transparent. It's vulnerable, isn't it? One must remember to be vulnerable in the moments of being vulnerable with other people as they're allowing you to see their vulnerabilities. It's a very trustful energy. But the first thing I thought, for 24 hours, I meditated on it. I didn't provide an answer. I sat back and I said, I don't know. I don't know. Let me sit with that energy. So I sat in it. I alchemized necessary energies, by way of confusion. I took it in and I just got rid of it. I went back to those moments where I remember myself being confused. I went into the shadows. And I went into that moment and I said, I know what it is that I know. And whatever it is I don't know, I know that Source is guiding me. I am safe. Because with not knowing, one needs to feel safe. That you're not alone, that you do have your spirit guides, right? One could have suffered from abandonment. We know what that feels like, to be alone, to not know, to need good help, to have trusted people that betrayed us. And still, we effortlessly go out with a heart that is loving like it's never been hurt. A heart that has a beautiful heart posture, one that is not unhinged, one that has impenetrable love and light by way of, I have enough love and light within my heart for myself and enough to give away as a teacher, right? So I sat with that energy. And let me tell you, the first thing I said was, what is it that I would have wanted somebody to tell me? You're okay. I'm safe. No, you're not crazy. I'm fine. You're fine. It's all going to work out well, right? Everything is working to your benefit. What is it that I would have wanted? And so in that moment, I went back into the shadow. I went back into that moment, whatever year that was. Could have been 2010. Could have been 2006. Might have been 1999. Whatever it was, I went back into those moments. And I sat with myself in states of confusion. And I told myself, listen, everything's going to work out fine. I was honest, though. I said, nobody's coming. You are your own savior. If you're looking for a savior, you're going to have to find a mirror. You have everything on the inside of you to make it through. Now, if that's your 10-year-old self, 14-year-old self, 15-year-old self, you can't do that enough. Do that as much as possible by way of the shadows. And then I heard my future self tell me, you're going to be fine. My future self came back to this moment and was like, yo, listen, I know. You're getting a lot of people that need your help. You're going to be fine. Sometimes I get those emails, y'all, and I get so many emails and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And Spirit is like, listen, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. What you're not supposed to be doing, you won't. And what you're supposed to do, you will know. So I just sat in that. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm doing a good job. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. That makes me happy. I'm happy about that. Nothing can take my joy away when it comes to that, And so I started speaking the truth over myself. Impenetrable truth is so powerful when you speak impenetrable truth to yourself, for yourself, onto yourself, going within, continue to draw in that light, seeing light just going into my body. I had enough light from the Creator. I'm like, okay, I'm connected to the Creator, because sometimes, we get human and we forget. So I told myself, congratulations, you made it to a new day. Your heart is intact. Your organs are intact. Your spirit is looking good. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing a good job. Right? And so then I was able to have a real conversation with this person, because you have to be mindful as to, discernment by way of when people really truly need help, or if they're looking for you to save them, which is not something that you can do. You can only use your story as it relates to their situation. Now, in situations where I can't relate, I do my best not to speak into those circumstances. Least I be a hypocrite. Least I be held accountable. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So if it's something that I have never, ever, ever gone through, I don't speak on it. I'll tell somebody, hey, listen, I've never gone through that. But here's what I have gone through. And this is what I did, right? Source has an interesting way of keeping us in this great humility for that direct connection to Source. That's a privilege to be directly connected to Source, right? Being mindful when one is speaking about things that you know nothing about. Don't do that. Be mindful of that. Be deeply rooted in that. I'm deeply rooted in great humility as it relates to the Creator. The Creator is always lovingly guiding me, reminding me to be in the flow, that being connected to Source directly, of which a lot of people are not, is a privilege. But to hold a space of love and light for people that are understanding how to get connected to Source, that too is a privilege. That too is something that I should never take for granted. Let's get into it. So protection message, it says Crow Spirit wants to know why you think there's no magic. So yeah, maybe this is related to that message. Somebody, this person didn't believe in the magic. They didn't know. They got real human for a minute, but where's your spirit? Call your power back. I call my beautiful divine plan for my life back. I call back all the beautiful thoughts that the Source of all things is thinking over me and to me. Source says, I think love and light towards you. So I say, I think love and light towards me. Look at me and Source co-creating by way of my life and who I am and the expression of what I am. Somebody's not making it to this moment, and I made it to this moment. You've made it to this moment. Congratulations. There's somebody somewhere taking their last breath, and they're glad about it. And there's somebody somewhere, unfortunately, taking their last breath, and they're sad about it. The breath of life, to be able to breathe and go with the flow and be in this position, be in your position wherever you are on this planet, is a blessing. No matter what the circumstance, it's all good. In those moments when I had to go back into my shadow, y'all, it was about perspective. I had to look at it. And I was like, if there's anything that I could have changed or would have wanted to change about the past, it would have been my perspective. How I saw the circumstances, the people, places, and things that played a very large role in my life. Or maybe they didn't, or maybe they just abandoned me. I had to go back to those moments and was like, oh, it's all good. This is a reflection of something that I'm manifesting with the Creator. Okay, cool. Going back to moments where I was like, what am I going to do? Talking to my older self saying, listen, it works out. You're going to figure out what to do. There's a blessing coming in 3 days. There's beautiful information coming in by way of Source. Just be still and listen. You have a direct connection. Don't get too caught up on the exterior, right? The outer appearance of things, that you forget to really listen to that direct connection. That in itself it's a blessing. Maybe there were times that I took for granted just how I was able to get spiritual downloads. Even if it was the truth and I didn't want to know it at that time, or maybe it was something that I didn't like the way Source was telling me, but it was the truth nonetheless. Going back to those moments where it was like, oh yeah, you need to love yourself a little bit more. But where is my divine masculine? Source is like, you need to love yourself a little bit more. Those are real downloads. I didn't like it. Not at the time, but now, oh my God, I get still. I'm like, Source, what is it that you want me to say? What is it that you want me to be? Use my words, use my tongue, use my mouth, use my vessel, Creator of all things, because I know if I'm being used by Source, then you see me as useful. That in itself is a blessing. Come through, Spirit. I'm going on a beautiful tangent. Hopefully you went on it with me. I love you. Listen. This says, maybe you've been hit by a loss or disappointment as a result of an event that had absolutely nothing to do with you and your manifesting good life. Yet, it shook you to your core. The crow spirit asks, do you trust that the Creator is taking you in the right direction? Spirit asks you to trust that no matter what the temporary contradictions are, that appear to be contradictions based on what you're manifesting and or the conditions are, things will be right within themselves very, very soon. The law of balance makes it inevitable that this too soon shall pass. Listen, the porcupine spirit, honey, listen, spirit is saying, trust in the ebb and flow. Say it with me. I trust in the ebb and flow. Whatever those losses were, whatever those people, situations, places, or things are, I lovingly release them. I forgive myself for not forgiving myself, for not understanding that I have a direct connection to source. That in itself sometimes is all you need to do, is apologize to yourself for not trusting in the Creator of all things, right? Understanding that this is my most vital asset. This is my most important relationship, is me being connected to source of all things and always saying, listen, how is it that you want to use me today? Maybe you're teaching me patience. Maybe you're teaching me not to take myself so seriously. And so I will accept that, because you're source of all things. You know me better than anybody. Come on, spirit. Porcupine spirit. What's the porcupine spirit? Porcupine spirit. Oh, okay, y'all. I gotta go. I'll come back, y'all. The person's here to take care of my my dryer. I love y'all. Okay, I'll see you soon. I'll come back for the porcupine spirit. Peace be with you.